My name is Angela Hill and my pronouns are she, her. I am the Director of Human Development and I am a facilitator as well. So a lot of early childhood is my focus, but kind of like all of us at Imagine, it's a mix of roles. We really work as a team, but really that early childhood and facilitation piece. I've been with Imagine for 11 years. I think some of the things that have shaped my worldview are obviously like my privilege. I've grown up with a ton of privilege. I have a beautiful family who has supported me through everything. So I've always felt like even through hard times, I knew I had that support to fall back on. As well as I've just been really lucky to have a lot of really cool experiences as far as living abroad and getting to spend time with people in cultures that are completely different from my own and learn that at a young age, like while I was a teenager, which I think influences you in an important way. At this work, obviously, I've been working here 11 years, so like started pretty much right out of university and did other work as well at the same time, but having that healthy work culture has been really influential in me as far as just wanting to make sure that other people have that same thing. I know how much that support has influenced me, and I want to make sure others have that, as well as I think just that worldview of that I can't do really anything on my own. Yeah, there's choices I've made and things I have to do as an individual, but that only takes me so far. So really that like collaborative piece is a lot of my worldview, and taking care of others when you're able is important. So when I was still a university student, I was the president of the Early Childhood Education Council, and we would bring in speakers for our students and for our members. And I literally just Googled like early childhood Edmonton, and Imagine's name used to be Early Childhood Development Support Services. That was a lot of our focus. So it popped up in my Google search, and one of my older colleagues came and facilitated, and then that was kind of it. And then when summer came, I got an email from them. They're like, hey, we're looking for a summer student. Do you know anybody? I'm like, yeah, me. I would like that job, please. And so I started as a summer student. It was gonna be 4 months. And then I had graduated, so I started teaching part-time as well, preschool and kindergarten. So I taught part-time and worked at Imagine part-time. And then eventually I was like, this is what I like doing. I love the flexibility. I love the work-life balance. I love the culture. And that's what made me switch to here full-time, and that's what's made me stay. I train a lot. I facilitate a lot of trainings. Most of them are that early childhood or child development focus, getting into youth as well. So some of my very favorites are around like temperament and attachment and that relationship-based connection. Play is a really, really fun one because obviously we get to play, not just talk about why it's important. As well as responding to trauma in early childhood, loss and grief in childhood, all the really fun things about child development, as well as all of the really scary things that children can experience and how we can support them. And that's, I guess, my favorite. I just love getting into that influence. And when I think about what I want to do with my life and as far as supporting people, the biggest impact we can have is in that early childhood realm. So it really excites me to think of, if you're supporting children when they're young, that influence can then last for their lifetime. So I love working with people who are working with children and supporting them, and that kind of ripple effect that can have. The projects I'm working on right now are we're getting ready for the fall. We're planning a really cool event, so stay tuned for that. But for leaders in that child and youth serving fields to kind of get together and collaborate. So we're really excited about that. We're kind of getting the groundwork ready to announce that, as well as kind of a not new way to approach our training at Imagine, but really formalizing our process at Imagine of how we work with organizations to make change and really help them learn and grow. So instead of just doing trainings occasionally, making that actual professional learning plan and saying, how can we support you long term, and what does that look like, and what are your learning goals? So really excited to kind of take some of those next steps and elevate what we've been doing even further.